Hi everyone. Whether in a classroom or in a Zoom call, you might have feel bored, right? Maybe some of you are even feeling bored right now. My name is Lokap, and I come from a really small town from India, from pure Hindi belt. And I was one of those 100 bored students in a classroom. But I was lucky. I found a great teacher who used to have conversation with me about whatever I was learning in schools, physics, chemistry, maths. He kept me motivated. He corrected my concepts as well as English communication skills. Now, because of that personal touch, one-on-one, I was able to do better. Got into IIT Bombay, and then since then running a successful life in general. But millions of students don't have access to such a great teacher. I was privileged enough to get that, but millions of students don't. And as a result, they're not able to unlock their full potential. Now, in order to have such great teachers for all the students, we need to train millions of teachers, and that is neither financially or scalable. So that is why we created an AI that in the image of that teacher that can speak with students verbally one-on-one and help them learn, practice, solve their doubts, motivate them. Langvify can have a verbal conversation about any concept, whether programming, data analysis, machine learning, sales, business development. It's as if you're talking to me. And with that conversation, Langvify gives feedback and motivates the students for their concepts, their articulation, as well as their English communication skills, making sure the graduates are getting full and upskilled. I have a short product demo video to show you. Please click. You guys can also try out the demo. Just have a conversation through our website, langvify.in. So what I'm about to show you is a user journey from Upgrad, which has been our oldest customer, where after teaching, let's say 1,000 students are in the classroom, a teacher is teaching them. Teacher can just make a conversation about it, like a Vijayata talked about entrepreneurship, so they can make a conversation about entrepreneurship, whatever is taught. For this specifically is how to increase user retention for Uber, which is extremely complex question. You can add any type of question, objective, subjective, technical, scenario-based question, and then the student has to verbally answer it. It's proctored, of course. And based on the answer, the next question is generated. So it ensures unique conversation for every single student out there. It analyzes your answer in real time, and it gives you quantified as well as qualitative feedback and data points for the teachers as well. It shows you a transcript, what you have said, filler noises. It gives you feedback like a teacher would give you, where did you go wrong, what can you do to improve, as well as it rephrases whatever you have said into business perfect English. Now I come from a Hindi built background, so my accent is still there, my way of talking is still there, but whenever I practice with Langvify, it gives me perfect English, what should I have answered. Also, we give them quantified ratings for their communication skills as well as content with improvement resources, which they can see and refer and improve themselves with. And students love using Langvify. After over 6,000 students have used Langvify from colleges, their communication skills, their concepts grew. That led to them getting 20% better salaries. We have been operational, and we have received $2 million in signed LOIs and $100,000 in committed revenue from giants like Upgrad, Monster, IID, and recently we have been we are in live in Europe as well as Africa. Learning is all we do, whether online or offline. So our conversational AI, which is in the image of a teacher, can be used in school as well as colleges, in corporate L&D. That makes it a huge opportunity. And we are the perfect time to build it. We are IIT Bombay based alums who have previously exited to a US based company. We've been working together for the last 10 years with cumulative experience of more than 15 years. We have been backed by great advisors in teaching, machine learning engineering, as well as curriculum development through our advisors. We are raising a round of $700,000 as a seed round to help us boost our revenue from 100K to 1 million. And we have raised pre-seed capital from European investors as well as Indian VCs. So please join me in providing a teacher that cares for every student out there. Thank you.
Questions. I'm here. Please use the mic so people can.
Thank you for the wonderful presentation. How long did it take for you personally when you went through that mentorship to get to a stage where you are right now?
Sure.
I would say I'm still learning in a lot of sense.
That's okay. That's why I said to the stage where you are right now.
I would say at least 8 years from my early 8th class. And then in college as well, I found a great teacher. So around 8 years of continuous hand-holding, more or less.
And with this product, what do you expect?
So that is what we're
similar. If you were to be the same person using this 8 years ago or whatever, 10 years ago, how long would it take for you to get to this stage with your product?
So that is our vision, to be that teacher which I had for millions of students. So with this, we are right now incorporating in university. We provide it from the first day of university itself. So every day student learns in classroom and then they have a verbal conversation about whatever they learned in their college. So students are not just studying one day before the exam, rather than they're forced to have a conversation about whatever they learned. That ensures everyone is paying attention, because everyone, they will never procrastinate if it is linked to directly exams. So around a year, I would say.
My question is, right, it comes down to self-motivation versus something that is forced upon you. So because you are self-motivated, you are very keen on learning. So if this is enforced by parents, enforced by college, how many people would be? I think that is the key thing for your success.
Absolutely. I love that you have asked this question. Any tech product in education, the biggest challenge is adoption. With us, the retention is 50%, engagement is 70%. That means if a professor is telling 100 students to have a conversation with Languify, 70 students actually submit it one time. They have a verbal conversation one time, and out of it, 50% students, around 35 students, they practice the same assignment 2 to 3 times. Now, why would a student on Friday night practice the same assignment 2 to 3 times? Because that is the gamification we are built. So imagine something like Duolingo, but better, where we are pushing poor performing and average performing students to have conversation. So for example, look up, your score is just 40, but if you have one more conversation, your score will increase from 40 to 70. Now for a poor performing student, this is the biggest motivation ever, that hey, I can increase my score and then I'll get best of 2, मेरे को assignment में 70 marks मिल जाएगा, and then I'll be topper के साथ में बैठा रहूँगा वहाँ पे, right? And same motivation everyone gets, because, and we trick them into practicing more and more conversations you have, better you become. And by virtue of having conversation, your confidence goes up, your communication skills goes up. Of course, your concepts get improved. That is where you get the marks.
Thank you, Lokap.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are B2B vertical SaaS in that language, part of legal tech, a little bit different flavor with applications of deep tech. We're trying to we're leveraging AI to bring down time to decision in patent-related matters sizably, and we'll talk more about it. Because of the topic, I'll spend about a couple of minutes just establishing the problem statement, because some of you may not be aware of this. Now, patents are a key metric of innovation. Sometimes the only metric once the dust settles down of the business of innovation. It used to take typically about $1 million R&D to get to a patent, industrially speaking. Earlier, the technologies have changed; it has gotten better. But the point I'm trying to make is it's typically the leadership which gets mandated to take decisions at various levels of at various stages of product development that we're doing. And the way they do it today is they ask the senior engineers who go to patent attorneys in the corner office, and then in-house patent specialists outsource it to law firms, outside counsels, information specialists. The whole cycle time slows down your speed of innovation, and the more this is needed, the more the problem gets. We have been in this area for some time. As I'll introduce myself in the team slide, and we identified this problem to be solved, and I'll talk about why we think it needs to be done now. So we just put a team together here. The good pedigree where they come from, but besides that, I think they have a relevant industry experience. This is one of the teams that you will see, which is heavy on experience, whether it be in the patent domain, on the software development, as well as on the data sciences area. I, along with some of my co-founders here, have been running a patent analytics services business for over a decade, and essentially we are productizing the service. Now, being in the space helps us get the customer connection. I've had some large corporates as my customer, GE, Philips, Airbus, but really it's also about understanding the need, the criticality, and the urgency. So why now? We have been at it for some time. In fact, the day we got into this industry, we knew at some point in time we need a way to reduce our burden. You're looking at any idea you talk about, you're looking at 4,000 documents, 5,000 documents, and the criticality sometimes of not only accuracy but the comprehensiveness of his searches and analysis creates a problem. So we're hoping we can leverage all that experience that we have into this product and which we are building. Okay, so let me go to the next one. So what I had done was I had put them as a line item so that you could see one by one for recall, but unfortunately I'll do it this way. This is in a nutshell the status, and each of them have more material behind based on the questions that you may ask. I'll try to answer that. The goal and driver I talked about, market $7 to $8 billion, just back of the envelope calculation. The reason why I say it is US and Europe as the originating business is because this whole business of patent as a business strategy is something that has come from there. A lot of due diligence gets done in India though, but the originating, the decision makers are still there, so that would be our market. The solutions, yes, the knowledge about, so it's a techno-legal field, so a knowledge about patent domain rules is definitely critical, but what has actually changed it and why now is the large language models which have come up. We believe some elegant solutions may be possible, and it's the products are going to be the workflow based. So depending on the question you're asking, for example, you could be asking whether my idea is patentable versus should I launch the product in this country, versus somebody has sent you a notice, how do I kind of respond to that, saying that you're infringing on my product or infringing on my patent. All these need due diligences, and there are about 140 million patents to date. Every year 3 million are getting added, so you just need to go through, and it's like I said, it's a techno-legal document, so where you can't, in some of the workflows you just can't make a mistake because it'll come to haunt you, right? So a lot of that knowledge comes from here. Where are we as a status? We started in Feb 22. We created an MVP, went to our customers. I have access to them, like I said, to the service that we had carried. We got some good testimonials, went to the VCs, tried to raise funds. More or less, I was told, get some customers on board. MVP does not sell, so you got to make a product. So we pivoted, identified the free data. So by the way, the data here also takes money. We'll have to buy the data for every country. Patent laws are national in nature, and every country handles its own data. So there are providers who kind of collect it and sell it to you. So we did a US data-based FTO, which is called Freedom to Operate, one of the workflows. And we are ready to launch it anytime right now. In terms of target, our ARR is about 2 million in the 18 months that we're talking about. And this is based on 2 workflows that we're talking about, more anyway if you ask. And we believe in 5 years we'll reach the 20 million ARR, or roughly 50 million, 100 million valuation. IP, we are IP folks, so we know whatever we are doing, we've already protected as a provisional in the US and India with a possibility of protecting worldwide. And finally, the ask is a real-time minute bit of is 650K is what we are asking, essentially for the data, for the infrastructure that will be needed, obviously trainings and things like that has to be done, and the marketing and sales in those areas. We are hoping that first 1 or 2 million is something that I've been doing as a service mode. I could do it myself and some of our co-founders. So that is where we are. Thank you.
Any questions from the audience or the investors? Yes, please. Most than welcome.
Just out of curiosity, do you have patent yourself and did you apply that for this product?
Yes. So I've been a technologist in R&D about 30 years. I have about a couple of patents myself. And this is something we have written. The patent that we have applied is something written by us, because we have been doing that for several years. So you know that. I mean, we are in industry insiders here.
What kind of due diligence it actually reports?
So there are due diligences of an idea happens at multiple levels. So you can have an idea and you actually search for the idea in the patent database for novelty, and there are, depending upon where you're filing, you are checking for novelty, non-obviousness, and utility, the 3 basic principles for any patent to go through. But if you're actually wanting to know what else is available, you probably have to do something called a landscape. You want to make sure that around that technology, what else is filed, who has that, are there white spaces in the technology? Then you actually go there and try to occupy that. It is a strategy. Patenting is a strategy, and not always you patent just what you're doing. You may also patent something around it, so that tomorrow, when you're trying to grow, nobody comes and kind of becomes a roadblock. So, like I said, I mean, which is why leadership is typically involved, because it's not a decision that can be taken by the inventor most of the time.
Thank you so much.
Business intelligence and analytics, data science. There are a lot of tools available in the market, and therefore you get a lot of reports, dashboards, which your organizations have to consume. The problem with these reports is they provide a lot of these reports, but then getting a business actionable is very, very difficult. We as a company address 2 things. 1, Genie Flash, our product, gives you business actionables. 2, we help organizations to improve the adoption rate. Currently, let's look into the data analytics challenges. Often it's a very involved process. Bring in any BI tool, there is a developer who has to make these reports, right? They have to make the reports for the business user, who has to spend a lot of time to analyze what it is and has to make part of his daily routine. That's the first thing. Second thing is, when you hit up a target, let's say the supervisor is monitoring a tool, often minutes are tracked, right? The data analytics tool is different and your action tools is very different. Minutes are tracked and you don't actually visit this. When there is another review meeting, you come and revisit these minutes. Often it ends up in a chaotic discussion. People end up in, justifying why there were, inaccuracies, what led to the poor growth, and so on, right? So this is a problem that is, faced in many organizations, despite having a strong data science team, despite having a lot of tools in picture. As per Gartner, right, 70 to 80% of BI initiatives end up failing. When I say BI, this is artificial intelligence-led tools as well. When I say failure, it is not the tools are ineffective. The tools are made perfect, but the business users don't get connected to this, right? That is always a challenge. So now, what we did is we approached one of the leading abrasive manufacturer customer. So this is our anchor customer as well. So when we approached them, they were using Power BI as a tool. The sales team is struggling to get insights. There are a lot of reports, but they don't connect to these tools because they have to spend a lot of time to understand. And often they track things in the spreadsheets so that they can quickly make sense out of it, right? So when we approached this company through the top management, we we're part of some of the sales review meetings and then come up with a quick automated solution. So we have automated that provided AI insights. Essentially what we did is we transformed the organization into 3 levels. One, at the individual level, you could see there are quick AI pointers. Let's say Rajesh is a salesperson. When Rajesh logs into the tool, he gets, okay, this is what you need to do, right? Instead of you looking into several metrics, Rajesh, you do this thing for a quick improvement. And we also connected to Rajesh in multiple ways. We provided video tutorials, and then we also provided gamifications. Once these things are tracked, right, their supervisors also get a tracking mechanisms. So which means if I don't do things, right, my manager will get to know things, right, and he can track things, and then you also get things until it gets closed. And then there is also a management review at 2 levels. So the entire thing is driven by the organization, and the most important thing is you get a coach and recommendation. So this is what the value addition that we have brought to this company. Now, what that led to us, the product Genie Flash. Essentially, we do 3 things. First, quick actionables. There is a user who connects to this tool. He gets to see what he has to do instead of seeing a bloated report and dashboards. That's first thing. Second thing is we eliminate the developers and middlemen, right? You as a business person need something, you can simply ask, why is my sales going down? What should I do to improve my sales by 30% increase? You get an insight directly. And third and important thing, which is very much important, is it has a coach and customized insights functionality as well. With this, we are able to improve the productivity, bring down the expense, right? Because you don't need a data science team, you don't need a report developer. The tool plug and play, the AI learns from this, right? And absolutely there is no development time, right? Plug and play, the tool learns specific to the user. Let me play a small video.
Flash is an AI-driven insight tool with automated AI-powered dashboards for accelerated business growth. The summary page starts off with a high-level summary of how your business is performing, an update on the AI inferences. GeneFlash is
I
an
will
AI-driven
skip this in
insight.
interest of time. The market size is huge, that is $130.45 billion. We have an office in US and India to seize this opportunity. So while the competition is crowded in BI space, where we differentiate ourselves is our AI agent capability. So there are guided insights, self-learning AI, and ability to track things until you get a closure. So our beachhead is manufacturing. We're focusing on organization with dealership focus. We have 18 customers now at this point of time. So we are targeting $320K US this year, and you could see that growth would be tremendous in 2024-25. Reason being, we're working very much closely with anchor customers, Murugappa and Renault Nissan. Our ask is $500K US. We have a strong team put up at IIT Madras Research Park. Myself and Rajesh IITN with 18 plus years of experience, Parvati with 12 plus years of experience. Our ask is $500K USD, and let's enable organizations with Genie Flash. Thank you.
Any questions? Any questions from anyone? Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. Rajesh.
Okay, hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vani, and I am here representing a company called Vet Instant Healthcare. Our interest is in improving animal healthcare across the world. But like all big ideas, we want to start small, and our interest is in starting with dogs and quickly taking you through some data as to where we are in the animal healthcare market. If you look at, there are 4 households for every 1,000 households in India that have a dog. And 1 household for every 4 households has a dog in the US. India is where US was 30 years ago. There's 5,000 pets per vet in India, 1,100 pets per vet in the US. The vet community is exhausted, the work-life balance is crappy, and the infrastructure is feeling the stress. In fact, the US has started reporting suicides as a result of the poor work-life balance. But what are we looking at? We want to improve animal healthcare. We see a lot of focus in investment by pet parents who are a part of a large trinity of 3. which is the pet parent, the pet, and the vet. And here the pet can't speak for himself. And when you look at the pet parent, there's a fair lot of infrastructural issues. There are a lot of fence sitters when it comes to pet parents in the marketplace. And the pet parents are busy investing in, even when they get a puppy in the house, you see them investing on collars, on leashes, on pretty pinks and lovely blues. Now, what we are trying to do is to try and get the attention onto the healthcare side of things. If you look at the number of vets mapped to pets, look at the chasm that's there. And that's the chasm that we are identifying as an opportunity, because this market needs to be digitized. Of course, there is current digitization in the marketplace, but it is improving, say 2 or 3 percentile of the current problems that are being faced by either vets or by pet parents, or finally, of course, pets in general. If you look at the current market size, in 5 years, it is looking at growing 8.92 crores, and this is only for cats and dogs, mind you. This is not for anything other than small animals. Our sources are mentioned here. There is a fair amount of SOM. The CAGR is pre-COVID. In fact, it has grown post-COVID to almost 30+%. And if you look at what is the big problem here, the big problem is that of the data, which is a pet is unable to communicate. A vet gets conjecture and punt from a pet parent, because we like talking about our animals like we like talking about our children. And pet parents are not always alert. We are busy in our daily lives. There are times that we tend to ignore things, misplace data, things go overboard. And our solution for this is really the ExamD. It lies between an ecosystem of 2 applications really, one with the vet, one with the pet parent. The device that you see at the center is the ExamD. It allows you to do non-invasive temperature measurement, non-invasive SpO2 and pulse measurement, heart and lung auscultations, which are only done correctly by 2 percentile of the vets nowadays. This is all being done to improve the quality of healthcare. This product comes like a kit, and it allows you to take these. We're asking pet parents to take a step back and take the data with respect to their pets in their own hands. It's pretty much like, if you have a fever, you pop a crocin, but with dogs, you can't operate like that. They need these basic vitals for any kind of decent diagnosis and prognosis. We are working on a bunch of ExamD variants, but the one that is currently ready is what you see as the pet owner light version, which is the basic EMR access. Today, if you come to our stall across here, you will see a product that works with 2 applications and gives you a basic set of data and allows the fulfillment from prescription, consult, and at-home conversations with your vet, with the vet of your choice, because no pet parent likes to go to any other vet other than their own. So we offer the choice of your vet. This is really our business model, which basically says we are looking at financials that are based off not just device sales, but also basis services. We're looking at preventive care plans and consultations. We have conversations going on right now. We have 50 pre-orders right now in a month. We have 5 enterprise contracts, which basically mean that we take a percentage of medicine sales as well as consults online with vets. We have 1 research validation center where we get more than 800 dogs validated, 2 geographies which are being managed, which is basically north and south of India. We have 5 enterprise contracts with those specific folks in Chennai as well as Bangalore. We have a lot of them in the pipeline in terms of Bangalore. We have individually trained 50 plus vets on the use of the device and the applications and downloading of the material. We also have 310 plus users and counting. This was done almost 3-4 days ago, so we would probably have doubled the number by now in terms of instances of device usage. This is our fund ask of 4.5 crores. It works across marketing, product manufacturing, people and software development. We are very excited to tell you that we do not have an alternative in the marketplace, and this is globally. I would also like to tell you we've mapped our competition fairly strongly in the global scenario as well as the India scenario. All the brands that you could possibly think in the pet care market that are to do with healthcare, technology and digitization don't really exist. And finally, we are working very closely with IIT Madras and their procurement center to start our production between Sirma as well as Foxconn. Sirma is more likely, Foxconn is too big a larger number for us. But our certifications are in progress, our manufacturing, we've already got a BOM and development. right? Our IPs, we file our patents, and these are workable patents. What we mean by that is these are patents on the functionality of the product, not just on the design of the product. So the design and functionality have patents. We filed a PCT. We would like to see a launch in the international markets in the next 18 months. We have a deadline of 2025 on that. Okay, that is our product roadmap. That's just to tell you, and I don't think it's readable, but it works from the Exambi, which is our first unit. We also have a bed, bowl, and collar, which is a smart set of devices. Beyond that, there is a urine test, which is again a device that is work in progress. We are testing it right now at the Pondicherry Veterinary University. And beyond that, there is the virtual platform where all the data goes online, and so vets can see the data at any given point at the click of a button on their phones. That's what our revenue roadmap looks like. I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but that's the people behind this game. There's Vivek, who's a chartered accountant, self-taught vet and tech guy. That's me. And then you have Raj, who's our product designer doing his MTech. Thank you very much. My time is up. And those are the others. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Any questions from the audience?
Sorry, any questions? Happy to take them right now.
Yeah. Any questions? Anybody, investors, audience? Yeah, we have one hand over there. Can you
Yes,
pass on
please.
the mic?
Hello. Sorry if I misunderstood, but are you connecting people to the vets also, or is it just the device that you're selling?
So it's the device and it connects vets. So there is a trinity in the pet care market. It's the pet parent, the vet, and the pet.
Okay.
All of them get connected. The device is just a means of sharing data versus conjecture with the vet. Because pet parents tend to talk stories about their vets.
Right. So the device is not easy to use for the parents. They need the vet's assistance to use it.
No, it's a at-home device, so it's very easy to use. In fact, the in-market products today are very expensive and not available to a pet parent till you come into a clinic. We are asking pet parents to take a step back and telling them to start using this device like you would a temperature thermometer for a baby in your house. So this device is, however, a 5-in-1 device. Not only does it do temperature, it does SpO2, heart rate, heart and lung auscultation as well. Yeah?
Got it. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you. Thank you for the time.
Thank you very much.
So in the queue, we have next DataZip. We have Rohan and Sandeep here. Over to you.
Thank you so much for your time. My name is Sandeep. I'm the co-founder and CEO at DataZip. Along with me is my co-founder Rohan. Let me quickly get started. The biggest problem that we're addressing is just one data engineer for every 10 to 15 companies, and this is only getting worse. And when companies start to do data processes, they start off by maybe implementing some very haphazard way of a BI tool. It's getting some CSV files, etc. But when people try to take this more and more further, what they end up with is a series of tools that are so difficult for any one single person to make sense of. And this causes and makes companies to keep on changing and improving their data infrastructure at least 3 times in 7-year journey. This is a loss of time, opportunity for the companies out there, and the business teams suffer by not getting access to data on a regular basis, and they kind of learn to live with it. We are set to change this by giving one single interface that makes it easy to ingest the data, process the data, store the data, and make it query ready. Query ready in the sense you can attach a BI tool and access the information to make a chart or a dashboard. You can attach it with your ML notebook. You can attach it with a internal apps kind of a application, or do anything you want to build over the top applications with the data. The biggest USP that we are making it possible, which no other platform can claim, is that one single person who knows SQL can manage around 2 to 3 TB of data for a company. So that is what we are making it easier with our approach, and it doesn't require engineers to start with. And the stack is very clean and easy to use, and the data assets will be easy to track. The quality of the data assets will be easy to track, making it ready and available for people in the company, especially business stakeholders, in under 5 minutes. Just to visualize the application, anything to do with raw data That is, you have different SaaS sources and databases, backend like MongoDB and Postgres, and sometimes object stores like S3. To doing anything with the consumption layer that I just mentioned, you just need one single application, that is DataZip. We have also kind of understood that a lot of people struggle with understanding and making sense of data, how to, what all they can mix, what kind of use cases that they can kind of come up with, so that businesses can have a lot of use for that data. And we are leveraging AI and especially LLMs to be able to kind of be a co-pilot or a assistant analyst that you can ideate with, challenge, use it to dig and find more information about the data. In that direction, we have launched DataZip, Zip AI as part of DataZip. We are a team of people who have been in data for some time and have individually experienced these problems. And when we came together and talked about our shared experiences, we're so puzzled that each of us had the same observation, and that's what led us to start DataZip. Rohan especially was the first data guy at Rapido, saw the scale of the from 5 cities to 90 plus cities, set up the whole thing himself because he was the first data guy, and that experience is what we are using to productize and make it easy for more companies to get quickly started and grow faster. Within 7 months of our launch, we have had more than 25 plus companies trying out our product in their own environment, because that's the way we deliver the application, being in line with all the data privacy and security concerns people have about data. We have Kenko Health, MoEngage, Pagarbook kind of companies already as paying customers, and very interesting companies like Whatfix and LimeChat are already doing POC with us. Like I said, you have only 2 alternatives right now: either buy a set of tools which are very costly to kind of keep paying for, or have at other spectrum have a ton of engineers who are like very specialized and difficult to hire and retain to do the job of data engineering for you. Or you can just come and use DataZip, which makes it easy for anyone who knows SQL to operate. We are first targeting companies which have less than 2 TB of active data, and then we'll step up our product to slowly be able to address more and more data from companies, thereby going from like startup to mid-market, right way to enterprises. We are because we are deployed in the client's cloud, and we kind of are very close to the engineering teams. Our pricing is very much like how AWS charges, like their EC2 or kind of their infrastructure. So very similar manner, the number of machines that run decide the capability of data that you can process, and the pricing also varies according to that. We are already at 38K ARR right now, and by the end of this year, we will reach 50K ARR. And our plan is to kind of unlock 100K ARR by March next year. And from that, we have a plan to reach a million ARR by next 12 to 14 months. Our ask is we are raising 500K round right now.